amici sportivi. Welcome to another edition of Red Card Weekly. One man short this week, but definitely going to be able to provide you with some more entertainment. I'm one of your hosts, Vince. Del mio sangue vado fiero, perché sangue rossonero, tavernese. And my other co-host, Steve. Yes, I cheered for Juve yesterday, but I went straight to church and I confessed my sins. So it doesn't count, by the way, even though it doesn't count. So Francis is not here this week. Steve, would you care to elaborate why Francis is not here this week?
We have a new addition to the Red Card Weekly family. I am very happy to congratulate Francis Colagiacomo and Leanne for their new addition, baby Lucas Colagiacomo. Yes, it's Lucas. He thinks he's Brazilian, Francis, so he named his kid Lucas.
And in the word of Luca Brasi from The Godfather, may your first child be a Milanista child.
And we have a little toast of champagne to Francino and his beautiful wife and little baby Lucas. So we're gonna pop it right now. We're gonna pop it, baby, pop it. Pop it like it's up.
Hey, okay. Wait. Oh, ma attenzione. Your phone's on, by the way. Also, yes.
On the way, Mr. Eric Colacha, Juventine, and his wife, Sophie Mountain, who is English. It's not her fault. Baby X is going to be on the way. She's getting contractions. Cheers to them as well.
Oh, hey. Steve, how could we not forget? Cheers to the Invincibles of 91 to 93, 58 games unbeaten. Still a record, baby.
Forza Milan.
Forza Milan. There we go. You think we should start the show?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we should start the show. Okay. So, guys, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to take it through midweek. There were some games midweek Serie A. Let's start with Milan 2, Palermo 2, Udinese 2, Catania 2, Parma 3, Roma 2. What did I write over here? Oh, I got bad handwriting. Lazio 1, Torino 1, Juve 2, Bologna 1, Inter 3, Sampdoria 2, Chievo 2, Pescara 0, Cagliari 4, Siena 2, Atalanta 1, Napoli 0, Genoa 0, Fiorentina 1. So those are your scores. There was some games Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Why don't we just start off by the first game, which was on Tuesday. It was Milan-Palermo. And Steve, I gotta tell you, man, as soon as that game started, it's like, the first half was like absolutely horrible. We were all over the place, and like, is it possible we can't go a couple of games playing okay? And then what happened when we went down 2-0, and the second goal from Palermo, Brienza that scored, Amelia, I don't know what it was. It was like looking at the birds. I went in, I'm like, that's it. We're going to lose another one. Silvio's going to get mad. And what happened after that? La Grinta came in. I don't know if you noticed, Steve, as soon as Pato came out, and you know what, I like the guy, but it looks like he just needs that, he's going to get there. But as soon as Pato came out, Bojan came in, wow. We were taking shots after shots after shots, and you know what? We deserved that tie. And a bit more, we're going to win that game.
I think it was a character game. Like Vince said there, unfortunately, it wasn't the best first half we ever played. And of course, Allegri just fiddling around with the formation again.
Keep on talking while I pour you another champagne.
And he decided that he was going to finally go back to the formation that's been working for him, the 4-3-2-1. As Vince said, Pato came off. He needs to find his fitness. Milan need Pato. 2-2 game, they came back. It was good for the team, but unfortunately we need Milan to perform a little bit better to get that Serie A on the way and also climb up there in the standings so that we get closer to the big ones.
Definitely. So that was for the Milan game. After that, we had the other game on Wednesday. Was Juventus-Bologna. Juventus didn't look, I don't know, like how did they, like I was watching the game and they weren't convincing to me. Yes, they took the lead, the 1-0 lead, and then a gem of a goal by, I remember who scored, guys, from Bologna. And then, proprio at the last 30 seconds of the game, who else than Pogba on off a free kick, heads it in. And if we have to look at both teams, Juventus definitely deserve to, because even though they might not have been convincing, they were better than Bologna. But you know what, chapeau to Bologna too, because they still came to play.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Vince. There, the Juve did not look convincing. I think by far this season the least convincing that they've looked. But the man of the match and the gem that Juve has found in Pogba, and he's able to come into games. He's just a teenager, and he's able to come and also make a difference. I think that we're going to see a lot of Pogba now and in the future, continuing with Juve, and that they need him for the amount of games that they're playing to come up big all the time, and he did. He got the match winner.
Yeah, and he, it was all over the place. Didn't slow down. But can I ask you something? What's his dance like? Goal celebration? Is it like a chicken dance? Is it like a
If he continues scoring goal, he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. Other things from midweek, guys. The surprises we had: Lazio at home tying Torino 1-1, and Napoli losing in Atalanta. Atalanta, it's not the worst team of Serie A, but you're always expecting a bit more from Napoli. But we will tie in those games from this weekend.
We want to mention also that Cavani did not play that the midweek game against Atalanta. He was supposed to be fit, but they decided not to put him in. And like we saw midweek, and like we'll talk about further on in the show, you'll see that Napoli is missing some depth, and we're going to eliminate them from the contenders.
No, we'll discuss it.
We're going to discuss it, but we're going to eliminate them.
All right. So that's from your midweek games. We have this weekend's game starting by Milan 5. Did you hear me correctly? Milan 5 goals contra il Chievo 1. That was Saturday's game, and then on Saturday at 3:45, because the time hadn't changed yet. Il derby d'Italia. Juventus 1, Inter 3. Oh, there's other games I gotta talk about. Sorry, guys. Siena 1, Genoa 0, Sampdoria 1, Atalanta 2, Napoli 1, Torino 1, Fiorentina 4. Luca Toni, what a goal. Cagliari 1, Catania 4, Lazio 0, Bologna 1, Udinese 1, Roma 4, Palermo 1. We're not going to start with the Milan game because people are going to say we're pro-Milan. It's not like we're wearing red and black right now. But let's start, guys, by the game of the week, Juventus versus Inter. You know what? I'm going to let you start, or should I start?
I'm going to start.
Go ahead, Steve. I'm going to sip on
Derby d'Italia, one of the most fierce derbies in all of soccer. And I have to say that, yes, the police is there.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
C'est toi qui avais appelé?
Non.
Non? Y a-tu quelqu'un d'autre ici?
Non.
Monsieur Peter?
C'est mon partner.
C'est votre père? Il est pas ici?
Non, mon partner.
Votre partner? Il est pas ici?
Non.
Il vous a appelé pour nous...
We're back after a little brief interruption with the police. Nothing to do with us.
Nothing to do with us, but you know what? We were going to edit it out. I'm like, why edit it out? It's part of the show.
Keep it on.
We didn't get arrested, which is a good thing. We do have illegal booze in the place. We were smoking before, but hey, cheers to us.
All right. Derby d'Italia, ladies and gentlemen. As I was saying, fierce Derby d'Italia. Always a great game. And like we saw this weekend, it did not fail to entertain.
No.
We start off with the first goal from Juventus, which was again.
It was a world Guinness record for the fastest stolen goal by any team ever in the history of soccer. Not bad, Juventus, not bad.
Of course, first goal, Juventus scores, 18 seconds in, smeared with controversy.
Smeared.
After video replay showed us on a fantastic play from a regular camera angle,
Yeah.
Asamoah offside on the first goal.
By at least what, guys? Let's be honest here. By at least 2 feet. It was offside by at least 2 feet.
It was a clear call that had to be made by the linesman. Nonetheless, Juve up 1-0. The first half, unfortunately, I have to admit that Inter did not show up for the first half.
No,
Their Stramaccioni's let's go for the win attitude was not working in his favor. Juve, on both sides of the midfield, were dominating.
Yeah.
Vidal was a monster. Marquisio was all over the place.
Missed a nice shot there when it was one-on-one with the goalie Marquisio. He just doesn't seem to be able to finish. Mostly he gets these golden opportunities. Pirlo feeds him, but they played good. The first half they were
First
all there.
half was very, very entertaining. Then
You had the Palacio goal in the first half, guys. Looking at video replay, yes,
he was offside. By what? A toe? You're going to tell me if the linesman does not see a Samoa being offside by 2 feet, Palacios offside was but let's look at it this way. They screwed up on that one, and then Inter gets a penalty shot where, yes, there was some shirt pulling, but guys, how many times have we seen these kind of fouls in the box that don't get called, right?
That foul was Melito kicked the floor and got a penalty shot.
Yeah, and Lichtsteiner's high foot tackle that warranted a second yellow, and he didn't even give him that was. I'm sorry, guys, that was a definite second yellow. He should have been red carded. But once again, did they give that penalty for those reasons? Oh yeah, we screwed up. Let's make it, And once again, the referees took over and it took away from a great game. Nothing taking away from Inter though. I gotta admit, Inter second half, and you know what, Steve, elaborate. How did they get about going so well?
Second half, it was a completely different Inter team. I have to admit, it was very entertaining to watch how they transformed from a team that did not show up in the first half to a team where they looked like they had some pep. I have to disagree a little bit, and I know that I'm going to eat some from Francis once he gets back on the show. I don't think that Stramaccioni at 1-1 was going for the win. He made the negative change where he brought in Guarin for Cassano, which Cassano, we have to admit, was nowhere to be found this whole game.
At all.
Did not show up. That change, yes, I know that you're going to say he wanted to win the midfield, that's fine. To me, I don't believe that. I find that's bullshit. I think he was happy with 1-1. Where I have to say the game change was the non-change made by Juventus. Juventus had to make a change at the end of the first half where they took Lichtsteiner out because he was out of control.
Yeah.
And they brought in, I forget his name, that guy, Caceres. The other defender, and then at the end of the half they got an injury blow, Vucinic. Vucinic is so important to Juve,
Definitely.
and we saw that because in the second half Juve were nowhere to be found in terms of offense. But the change that he had to make was take out Vidal and put in Pogba.
100%.
I don't understand. And it ended up biting them in the ass because the person who lost the ball in the midfield on the winning goal was Vidal.
Arturo Vidal, yeah.
It changed the game completely, Vince. I don't know. This is how I broke it down.
Definitely. You know what, Guarin, I'm with you with that comment about Guarin, but I would have to add that maybe Stramaccioni behind his mind saying that a contropiede, because you know what, at 2-1, Juventus has to open up, guys. Well known soccer, not just Juventus. In any soccer game, you want to try to tie that game up. What do? You spread, your defensemen are going on to attack, and Guarin does have that speed, and look what happened. Both those goals, right? He's making those runs down the field, so you know what? Inter, good for you. I have to go to church too if I just said that. Yeah, I gotta go confess my sins. Because, once again, like I said at the beginning, 58 games, unbeaten streak, 29 wins, 19 ties, will not be touched for a very long time.
Yes.
But still very entertaining. But once again, unfortunately, spread with controversy. Who knows what would have happened if Juventus would have won that game 1-0? We wouldn't have heard the
This
the
is
end
what
of it.
I find. I find it's happening more and more often in Serie A. When we do struggle to have entertaining games, and when we do have an entertaining game, there's always a third-party action that happens in the game, which causes us to talk more about these offside calls, penalty shot calls, red card, yellow card, than the actual game itself.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic game. If you have a chance, please watch it. It was really, really good. It was going to be a fantastic 1-1 game nonetheless.
Nonetheless, yeah, definitely.
Let's move on to the other
games,
topics.
you know what, very quickly, Milan scoring the 5 goals. Yes, we did play Chievo. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but it seems that it's a start to guys gelling. Allegri finally playing FIFA 13 like I told him, and seeing that the 4-2-3-1 formation seems to be working a lot better than the 3-5-2 like he tried in midweek. I love how Pazzini scored even in the last second. I think he deserved it. He's always out there. He's always running. Bojan, fantastic. Montolivo, fantastic. And Il Capocannoniere, Stefan El Shaarawy, with his 8 goal. Honestly, guys, let's see if Milan can keep it up. We have a very big month. We do have Napoli and Juventus back-to-back this month, so let's see where we go from over there.
I have to add this though. 2 of those 5 goals were deflections of
You need
Chievo
those
defenders.
goals. You need those goals.
Yes,
once in a while.
Vince, I understand, but it's nothing for us to cheer about right now. It is positive for Milan, but let's get let's get real.
For morale,
it's
it's
okay.
very good.
But against Naples, against Juventus, against even Inter on the once we get back to the second part of the calendar, we cannot play games like this, and we need to score goals. But we need to score goals the way and control the game to have Milan be competitive against these bigs.
What we need, guys, is consistency, right? A bit of Mexes played good, Bonera played good, but we need these guys to be consistent, not 2 games good and 1 game bad. So keep it up, Milan. Let's tie in from Napoli and Lazio, guys. Lazio lost 4-0 in Catania. Napoli with that. I don't know if you guys are watching today, and it's funny because I'm watching the game. And if you guys all saw Aronica with the back pass with his eyes closed, gave it directly to the Torino player, and he puts it in for the 1-1 with a minute left. My buddy Carlo, big Napolitano fan, he's messaging me. He's like, I can't believe this. This is crazy. His cousin actually called him he was actually at the game. And he's like, we're ready to kill somebody over here. And I just said, hey, another regular day in Napoli. But going back to what we want to be discussing, we were talking at the beginning, Lazio, Napoli. Are these only hiccup, Steve? If we're talking about midweek either. Napoli lost, they tied this week. Lazio tied midweek and they lost this week. Are these hiccups, or are we still considering these teams as your top 3, top 5 teams?
Unfortunately, I have to say that I'm not considering them as contenders anymore. I know that these are just 2 games. It could be a hiccup during a long season, but let's get real. Come on. Napoli 1-0 up on Torino. Torino struggles. They're nowhere close to the class of Naples. Naples are just not deep enough to compete in the Serie A and the Europa League, as we talked about other times. And we're seeing them now. They just cannot. If it's not Cavani, no one else is scoring goals, and it's getting harder and harder for them. And they cannot continue to lose points like this.
No, they definitely can't.
For Lazio, guys, we said it from the beginning. Yes, they have a fantastic team. They have great quality players, but let's call a spade a spade. Lazio, unfortunately, has a history of doing this. They're a Jekyll and Hyde team. They're either fantastic or they're completely terrible.
Yeah.
These 2 games shows that Lazio is unfortunately not a contender because they just cannot keep up that consistency to keep them as well. Being Lazio, you cannot lose points like this.
No, you can't.
You
Definitely.
cannot. It causes you to, unfortunately, the morale in the team is so critical to these wins that they need to get to catch up when the other teams are playing each other, that when you lose points like this, especially 4-0 to Catania, it takes you out of the race.
Definitely. And Roma with a big win, late game today. But once again, Roma, we see a game like this, we see a bad game. We see a game like this, we see a bad game. So who knows? Maybe we'll see some consistency out of Roma. Only a few weeks to tell before the winter break, and we'll have a look at.
But I have to say this though: out of all the leagues, if you're watching, the Serie A is going to go down to the wire. All the teams
Definitely.
are playing either fantastic or either terrible. Let's get real. Inter is the best team. They've been playing. They've been the most consistent. So we're now at what, 7 in a row?
Consistent, yeah. But you know what? Let's look back 4 weeks and say, yeah, Francis, we're in crisis, guys. What did I say a couple of weeks ago? Roma 3 years ago came back from 16 points behind. This is Serie A. Anything can happen, and that's why I find it's the most challenging and entertaining. Well, not entertaining because the referees obviously, but you know what? It's going to be a fight till the end, which I love from Serie A. Let's take it over a bit of this week. We had some. We'll talk a bit about EPL. We had Saturday morning Manchester United Arsenal. Both of us watched it a little bit, and wow.
Does everything just work out for the EPL?
Seriously.
Everything. They have a marquee matchup, Arsenal, Man U. They have Man U, who signed for £24 million, Robin Van Persie, playing against his own team for the first time. It takes him 3 minutes to make an impact. 3 minutes.
Well, wait a minute. 3 minutes to make an impact. Vermaelen gave him the ball.
He scored the goal.
He did.
He scored.
But other than that, the way they played the first half, you think the first half was absolutely atrocious. They were just losing the ball here, cheaply lost balls. I think the terminology they were using, the pundits, cheaply lost balls from both teams. And then with the penalty shot, you know what? Yes, Corzola had his hands up. You know, you can't put your hands up like that. It's a definitely penalty shot. But Rooney,
Stop taking penalties.
Sir Alex, you know he sucks. Why are you giving him the ball for? Go put Johnny Evans for all you know, anybody. But like, it's not for him. He missed it by at least what? At least 4 or 5 feet to the left.
And it's not the first time that he's missed.
It's
that
not the
penalty
first
shot.
time. And you know what? I think it really complemented, that penalty shot complemented the way the first half went. But after that, the second half, Manchester United took a bit more control. And you know what? Maybe
Let's rewind a bit though.
maybe Arsenal.
There is something that I have to say there. Players exchange jerseys. I totally agree with that, but I'm gonna have to bring it up.
Yeah, that was bad.
The Arsenal player,
Andre Santos.
Andreas Santos. If you want Robin van Persie's jersey, just get it where
Get him in the
people
club.
don't see you.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna talk about it.
Seriously.
What could you want? You played with him for years. What could you want with this guy's Manchester United jersey? I just don't understand.
Sell it on eBay.
But I don't know.
Maybe you get some time at the end of the game. But yeah, that was pretty bad. Andres Santos do it in the tunnel. The question remains for that game. Yes, Manchester United won. They took the first place in the Premiership. Manchester City did not win against. They're playing Swansea 1-1.
Chelsea tied
Chelsea
as well.
tied 1-1 as well. And Arsenal just didn't show up. I don't think it's more that Manchester United were the better team. I think just Arsenal did not show up that game. I was really disappointed. I thought it was going to get one of those, Premiership games like, midweek, that Capital Cup. They had the Arsenal 7-5 games, at the Chelsea Manchester United 5-4 game, which was very exciting. But this one here, honestly, forget about it. After that, there was a Liverpool-Newcastle game, which I watched. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. I said Newcastle. I meant Luis Suarez versus Newcastle. It was, you know what? It was a good game. A lot of back and forth. Cabaye scored a goal for Newcastle, a screamer, as the pundits were saying. Fantastic goal. And after, Luis Suarez with another fantastic goal out of on his end. But once again, like, I was watching this game and I see Luis Suarez. What are these guys gonna do if he gets hurt? Yeah, you got Borini, but Borini's hurt. But who else is going? John Joe Shelby is gonna score you your goals. Sterling is gonna score your goals.
Well, it's obvious that Liverpool is going with the youth. Unfortunately, in games like this, the youth didn't show up.
At all.
The youth didn't show up, and Suarez is basically Liverpool. And how Suarez goes, Liverpool goes.
He was playing. If you guys rewatch the highlights, he was making these fantastic plays. But honestly, I don't know what their plan is. But I saw a lot of heart from the youngsters, but I didn't see like the Gerrard technique behind, like, the vision where they were just taking the ball and let's go. But
So Liverpool is talking about this plan that they have. Well, I'm very interested to continue to follow them and understand what this plan is.
Liverpool seem to be like a bit like Milan right now. They're getting there. They're trying to gel as a team. But Gerrard, I think, maybe might have to take on the reins of that team and maybe direct. Because Brendan Rodgers is not a very experimented coach. Need a bit more guidance from guys like this. So who knows? But Liverpool, once again, Luis Suarez and friends, great game of 1-1. Question of the week, guys. We were talking about the question of the week last week. We're talking about the refereeing. If these guys should be held accountable, should we send them back to the minors? We did have one reply there on our Facebook. One reply. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
What was it, Mario? That was
Mr. Mario Tanura. Thank you very much for the
Grazie
reply.
mille.
Continue, guys. We'll put up the questions of the week. Just continue to answer us back there. It's great feedback for us, and it's unbelievable. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Mario. For this week's question of the week, we would like to talk. There was been a lot of talk about the finalists for the Ballon d'Or. Something like, is Messi going to win his fourth one? Does he deserve to win the fourth one? Our question to you is, who, according to you, should win the Ballon d'Or? Now, remember, the Ballon d'Or is, for me, without this player in that team, without the team done the exact same thing, would it be Falcao, would it be Cristiano Ronaldo, would it be Andrea Pirlo for that matter? But there's some choices in there, like, I love Balotelli, but what is Balotelli doing there? Buffon. Seriously, how's Buffon? Buffon was just a regular goaltender last year. It's not like he made incredible saves.
That's of course the large extended list from UEFA, but we know. Let's cut it down, guys, and let's give us some. What do you guys think?
Who should win
Who
this
should
year?
win?
I vote for Luca Toni. All right, so On to our, we're running out of time already. We got a couple of minutes left. Our red cards of the week. Steve, I'm going to make you start with your red card.
My red card of the week, I have Francis's card. His president, Mr. Moratti, decided to say that, I don't know why he said this, Barca football is boring.
Seriously?
Signore Moratti, per favore, per la Madonna. They're probably one of the greatest teams that we'll ever get to see in our lifetime.
Seriously?
They must be doing something right because they're winning everything.
Must be.
Their football is beautiful. It's hard for us to say because, yes, I understand you too, we're Italian, but come on.
Morale. Maybe he was
Morale,
smoking
please.
a bit of the reefer. I don't know.
That was Francis's. He sent that to me by text message. My red card of the week goes again to Moratti. As you guys saw on the Facebook page there, I was able to just, while reading, find a little article on Pogba and understand why Manchester United let him go. I think it was just a mistake by Ferguson and the whole technical team there. They really underestimated this kid's talent. And yes, he was up for grabs. I tipped my hat, like I wrote in the little splurge that I had on the Facebook page, for Juve for actually going to get this guy. But Inter, you had a chance to sign this guy and you said no, because you had a deal with Alex Ferguson. Ma, what the hell were you thinking? Why the hell do Italian teams have to sign deals or strike these monsieur deals or gentleman-like deals with the English teams when the English teams keep on coming to Italy, keep on going all over the world and picking up all of the young talent, putting them in their youth ranks, and then after, no one can touch them. Inter, red card to you, you could have had Pogba.
I love it when you get mad. I really love it. Obviously, I got my 2 yellow cards.
My God.
I don't know what to say. What do you
Again.
say? Yes,
Again.
I do have
Go,
2 yellow
go,
cards.
go,
Sorry.
go.
First yellow card. Once again, Silvio. Because right now we're on first name basis.
Yeah.
Silvio. After the Palermo game, you came out and said, I didn't watch the game because I was eating with some of my friends. I just watched the last 20 minutes and I still wasn't happy. Silvio, you're the president of this beautiful football club. If you haven't watched the game, here's a piece of advice. Don't say it to the front of the cameras. Please, you're embarrassing yourself. Second yellow card. You know what? I'm sorry, even though he's a new father, he deserves it. Second yellow card, Francis, goes to you. This week, this guy, because we got a little BBM chats going around, he comes out and says, hey guys, did you see this article about Stramaccioni being called the world class? Francis. Stramaccioni is not world class, please. He hasn't proven anything. He hasn't won anything yet. He does not belong with Mourinho, Sir Alex Ferguson, and Kenny Dalglish. I don't know. Like, he's not world class, so please, Francis. And he's trying to say, this was the article. These guys are unbiased and everything. Francis, seriously, it's like us saying Allegri's a world class because he won 10 games in a row. No, definitely not. So, guys, that was our red card of the week. Hope you guys tune in till next week, and we have another celebration to celebrate next week. Hope you guys tune in, and we'll have Francis back. Once again, thank you for watching. Have a good night. Ciao.